makes me realize that I'm failing your classes. Burning in a barrel at the fires of gold.
Hey guys, I'm here with Dave Winnel in his studio. Dave, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Oh, it is super awesome to be in here. What a creative space you've got here.
Hey, I pretty much spend my whole day in here, so yeah, it's kind of like my man cave, I guess.
Eat, sleep, rave, repeat.
So Dave, tell me about your DJing. How did it all start? How did it begin?
I'm actually from a small town 6 hours south of Sydney called Albury, and I used to go to these underage raves when I was like 13 years old. And I used to stand there and look up at the DJ and be like, oh my god, this guy is like a god. And I was like, I've got to do this. So I worked at Macca's. I like earned all this money and spent it all on DJ gear. I spent it all on vinyl. Like back then, like a song was like $20, so I'd have to go to Melbourne and buy like 10 songs for $200. It was crazy, but I loved it. And then 4 years ago, I moved to Sydney, and then I've been here ever since.
So Dave, you're not exactly the ordinary DJ, or we could say you step outside the box a little bit with your skills. Tell everyone what you do.
Yeah, it's kind of I kind of got bored with the DJing, so to entertain myself, I wanted to come up with some kind of new way of doing it. And I guess because I've always been a producer, I wanted to do something where I could make tracks live on the go and mix heaps of elements.
I jump onto YouTube because I remember when I first listened to it, I was blown away of how all of these different genres of like music and just these songs came together so nicely.
And that's kind of what I do in my sets. Instead of being 5 minutes, it's 2 hours though. So it's not like, you can still dance to it. Yeah.
And they are technical. Like, I don't know how you do it, but how long did it take you to master this skill?
I'm probably still mastering it, I guess. Like there's always mistakes that I'm finding on the way. So I'm always like trying to come up with new ideas and new ways of doing things. Yeah.
Cool. And now, what sort of genre would you say, you play in music?
I don't play one genre. I think that'd just be boring. So there's definitely a theme though. It's always like very strong melodies and very strong like grooves, and it's kind of like got a tough edge to it. And I think that's the main elements. But then I play everything from house to deep house to electro to even dubstep and trap. But just as long as it fits those guidelines of melodic and groove, it's like whatever.
A massive bundle of stuff, really. It's a whole genre, a bag of goodies and
melodic goodness.
Melodic goodness, I love it. And what about music that you listen to at home? Does that vary to what you play?
Yeah, I guess most of the music I listen to is in my car when I'm driving around. So I actually listen to classical FM a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I get enough dance music in here and in the nightclub, so I like to chill out and relax. And I think that's the best for like, especially when there's like a traffic jam, it's like you just totally zone out and forget what's going on. Yeah.
Calmness.
Exactly. And there's something about their voices too when they're like, classic FM, it's like, there's just something hypnotic about it.
Amazing. Now, you were just talking about before with production. You actually have released a numerous amount of tracks and you create some absolute magic on your YouTube channel. You've done a thing which, let's just say, it sounds pretty insane. You've played, over 100 songs in less than 5 minutes. Now, how did this start? How did this come about, this whole idea? Let me just jam 100 songs into 5 minutes, because I don't know anyone who could do that except you. That's crazy stuff.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's more like it's kind of like one long blended, one song made out of heaps of different other people's songs. So, but it's kind of like, it is like a mix though. So I took heaps of people's favorite tunes and I just put them all into one. so you can listen to it in like 5 minutes or whatever. And it all works together. It's all like in musical key, so it's not like a nightmare to listen to.
No, it sounds incredible. If anyone hasn't checked it out, jump onto YouTube, because I remember when I first listened to it, I was blown away of how all of these different genres of like music and just these songs came together so nicely.
And that's kind of what I do in my sets. Instead of being 5 minutes, it's 2 hours though. So it's not like, you can still dance to it. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then with your own stuff, your own original productions, tell us about that. Tell us about some of the tracks that you've, been producing.
Yep. So I've been producing for, I guess, 10 years. But lately I've kind of stepped it up a bit because I was always kind of like trying to find a bit of a flow. I didn't know really where to take it. I was writing tech house one day and the next week I was writing electro. I guess it was last year when things kind of really stepped up a notch. I released a song called Achtung, and it got played right around the world. It got played by Axwell at like Tomorrowland, which was, I was like blown away when I saw that, yeah. And then everyone else started playing it, Porter Robinson, Tiesto. It was crazy. And so I was like, I had no idea it was going to have that effect on people, so it's just crazy to see.
What's that feeling like when you saw that video of Axel playing it at Tomorrowland?
Yeah, I was just blown away because before I put it out, I was kind of like unvibed from it. I was like, oh, I don't know if this is good anymore. And I said to the label, I don't think we should put this out. And they were like, nah, you're crazy. This is great. Like, put it out. We'll see what happens. We'll move on to the next one. And then like Axwell started playing. I was like, what a stupid mistake if I didn't release it or anything.
Winning!
Yeah, exactly.
It's an amazing track. It's incredible, and it's had some great exposure. And you've also just released a new track as well.
Yeah, I've got a new one. It's called Fires of Gold, and that's a collaboration between me and Mr. Wilson. He's on the vocals, and that was out on Monday.
Awesome, that's insane. And also another thing which is pretty cool, and I'm extremely jealous. Let me just reach back here. Have a look at this, people. Ooh, Electro House Sessions mixed by Dave Winnel and Tom Piper. Get a load of this. This is congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. It's my first mix compilation, so it's kind of like pretty crazy to see it on the shelves, but
very close to your heart.
Yes.
Now tell me about the process behind mixing this. Obviously, you've got to pick the tracks and.
Yeah, so this is for Ministry of Sound. So it was a few months back where they approached me and said, did you want to do the next Electro House Sessions? Of course, I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they said, send me the track preferences. And then we spent a bit of time together to develop that and come up with a suitable track listing. We threw in, obviously a few Ministry of Sound tracks. And then a couple of months later, here it is.
Wow, that is absolutely insane. So where can people grab the CD?
So you can get the physical copy from JB Hi-Fi, or of course it's on iTunes as well.
Amazing. And you're also doing a tour to accompany the CD. So this is a huge tour apparently. Tell me about how this is going to go down.
Yep. So the tour kicks off on Friday. We're hitting all around Australia, all the way over to WA, to Cairns, to Perth, Sydney. It's going to be crazy. Me and Tom Piper for like 2 months. It's going to be awesome.
Wow, definitely some interesting stories going to come from that tour, and we will list those tour dates probably right about now. We'll put that in. See below, see here. And tell me about one of the weirdest experiences you've had DJing.
It's actually kind of a bad experience, but it didn't happen to me, so I guess it's okay. But a long time ago at a disco, I gave a girl an epileptic fit with the with the strobe machine that I brought along to the gig, and we shouldn't be laughing, but people thought she was dancing on the floor. It's kind of bad. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but yeah, but she was okay, of course.
As long as she's okay, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and the strange thing was that was her very first epileptic fit, so then she of course, got diagnosed after that she had epilepsy. But she was fine.
No, but do you know what? It's actually quite interesting the amount of people who do go to gigs and then experience these things. So everyone, make sure you get checked out, and if you do have any of these experiences, go see your doctor or your GP. But and let's just wrap things up with, who would be your ultimate, DJ producer to work with in the future?
I'd have to say Deadmau5. Yeah, he's definitely been one of the biggest inspirations for me over the years, and you can definitely hear his influences in my sound when you hear my songs. Yeah, it definitely has got to be here. I remember I was at a Deadmau5 gig once, and my friend turned to me and he said, "Dave," he's like, "stop crying." Apparently I was like in the moment, so
Tears of joy.
joy. Oh man, it was so good.
And you can probably have a little Twitter rant with Deadmau5 as well. He's definitely one on the social media.
I've met him once before. It was at a meet and greet. I shook his hand, he signed my bag. But other than that, I've never actually met him, and I'm kind of scared too.
Did you cry?
No. I'm scared he would like be mean to me or something, and I'd like hate him.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Dave, for having us in your studio. I can't wait to listen to the album. I've definitely got to grab a copy. Maybe I could just take. Thank you. All right, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.